Hi, and welcome to LT's Garage. Today I'm going to show you how I kind of upscaled this little sign from Dollar Tree. I really liked the muted colors. I did not like the glitter on the wording, but we're going to take care of that. First, I'm going to clip off this jute hanger, and then I'm going to use some sandpaper, also purchased at Dollar Tree. I was really surprised at this nice pack of sandpaper. It has some really fine grit. The higher the number on the sandpaper, the finer the grit. You want a really fine grit to take the glitter off of a sign like this. If you used a heavy grit sandpaper, it would just tear this paper print that's on the sign. So the fine grit just kind of glides along that glitter and just takes it right off. I know it looks like I'm doing this fast and that I'm using some pressure, but really I'm very light-handed on this and use no pressure at all. You can see that it takes almost all the glitter off. There'll be a little bit of sparkle left, but it makes a nice charcoal lettering. My next issue with this sign was the rough edges. This one hangs over a little bit, so I am trimming it with a pair of scissors. Some of the other edges were a little bit bumpy and torn, so I'm just going to use a little bit heavier grit sandpaper. This is the 150, and I'm just going around all the edges and just lightly smoothing out some of those tears. This sign also had a bunged up corner. It must have got mashed or dropped or something. I put a little glue on it and this binder clip to hold it flat, and it'll just kind of squeeze that mushed corner and flatten it out. I'm also going to use some brown paint here, and after I sand all those edges, I'm going to go back and touch up with some brown paint. You can see already how much nicer and more finished this sign is looking with this brown paint, just doing these edges. So I'm going to do all the edges. This particular sign, the print has a little bit of a wood grain, so if you are getting paint on the sign, you want to go with the grain of the wood. I also got this little acorn vine from Dollar Tree. I'm taking off 3 of the oak leaves and the acorn. I took them off gently. I didn't tear them. I wanted to save the holes. I didn't like how bright green they were compared to my sign. The tips on these leaves were pretty bright, so I'm using some just Crayola water-based markers, just kids markers, and a little bit of water on a paper towel, and I can just basically kind of stain or watercolor the brightness right off of these leaves. So I'm just kind of muting that green, softening these leaves up a little bit so that they go a little bit better with my sign. How about that? You can just change the tone of your leaves. Just little Crayola markers. So here's my wire that I'm going to use for a hanger for my sign. I'm wrapping it around this dowel to give a little bit of curl, kind of reminiscent of the curlies on your grapevine wreaths. I think it adds a little element of fun and is just a little bit nicer than that jute hanger that was on here before. So I'm turning the sharp end around, kind of turning it in so that it doesn't stick out and poke anybody. The other end, I'm pulling through about 6 inches or so of wire because I'm going to wrap it around once, and then I'm going to just string these leaves on. Remember, I left the holes on the leaves. If you didn't, you could always glue these on if you tore them or anything. But I specifically wanted the holes so that I could just string them on this wire. I put the leaf on, and then I bend the wire over, and then I put the next leaf on, bend it again, and now I'm adding this last leaf. I end up with just about an inch stub of wire left, and I'm going to use my E6000 glue and glue my acorn onto that little stub of wire. I just think it's already looking so much better, but I'm going to add one final embellishment, and that's this raffia bow. This raffia I got at Dollar Tree too, and it's great. I really like how nice and neat it is. My acorn fell off, of course, because I didn't give it time to dry, but I'll get this bow tied and pop my acorn back on there. Wish I really tied bows this fast, but I actually fidget with them quite a bit to get them to look like I want them to. So there's my bow. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on my acorn, make sure that it stays put. So here is my little embellished Dollar Tree sign. I think it looks much more upscale, much more or much less generic, I guess. I don't know, but I love the soft colors, and I think it's a fun fall sign. I look forward to putting it on my front porch. If you like this idea, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I look forward to sharing a lot more ideas with you. You can also visit me on Facebook at LT's Garage and on Instagram at LTS_garage.